We got new news. Michael Olise, Chelsea's interested. Are they gonna buy him? Who knows? Could be. But the question is for how much? How much they putting out? What we looking for? What we asking for? Also, Demarai Gray. Could he be coming in as a possible replacement for Wilfried Zaha? Now I know a lot of you would say it's gonna be tough to replace Wilf, but you know what we mean. We're gonna talk about it just a second with you all. Be right back. What it is, what it was, what it's gonna be. What's up, everybody? It's your man T. It's another edition of Palace News. Super happy to be with y'all, man. Good to be back. Had some things going on, but good to be with you. I'm gonna be flying solo today, so be really depending on y'all in the chat to keep the conversations going and things. First of all, for all of you that are tuning in, tapping in, shout out to you. Right now, we're almost at about 50 people in here almost. Awesome. Great. Appreciate y'all. But for anybody that's here that knows the drill, that may not know the drill, like, comment, subscribe. Really appreciate it. Does a heck of a lot for us, man. So make sure you drop that for us. We appreciate that. We only got a couple things a couple scheduled things that we're gonna talk about today. But of course, I'm always gonna be looking to the chat to holler at you guys, talk to you guys, and get your opinions and thoughts on things. But it might be a little bit of a shorter show today, but we'll see how it goes. So kicking things right off, I know a lot of you are on Twitter and been out there and hearing about things. Yes, Wolf's gone. Move on. That's all I'm gonna say about it. But the other thing that's now come up is there seems to be a lot of top four interest in Michael Olise and his possible transfer. Now, there were some rumors. Well, the rumor started with, I believe, Chelsea being interested in him, which he has connections to Chelsea because I'm not sure if he used to be in. I think he used to be in Chelsea's academy, and his brother is actually currently in Chelsea's academy. So he's got some ties there. Some of the reports have said that he's also possibly interested in the move, but who knows if that's true or not. That could just be media fodder. Along with that, it was originally reported that they would go ahead and buy him out because of a $35 million buy clause. However, of course, that has been disproved. Like it's just not true. He doesn't have a buy clause, so that's just something to point out. Now, I think for us, especially at Palace, prior to what we're seeing right now, we're not really used to having so many players in demand that that are being rumored for everybody from Gay to Anderson to now Olise. It's different for us. You know what I'm saying? Usually we're just looking for the news about who might be coming in. But in this situation, it's about who might be going. So it's kind of tough for us. What's up, Louis, man? What's going on, man? Law, what's going on? How you doing, man? So it's interesting, man. Me personally, I don't think there's much to this Michael Olise thing. I don't think it's. I mean, it just doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't worry me the way that maybe some of the other ones have. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think there was some more relevance to the Gahey stuff and Anderson stuff. This one doesn't get me as much, but I could see it happening, man. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. It depends on what they want to spend, man. Tim. Little something. What's going on, Luke? How you doing, man? Bollocks, what's going on, bro? Colin was good. Geico, we was hollering at each other earlier today, man. What's going on, man? Luke, what's up, brother? So yeah, holler at me. What's y'all thoughts on the whole Olise thing, man? I mean, first of all, he's hurt. Let's be honest. So, I mean, is it good business for Chelsea to go out and spend, you know, a crazy amount of money on a guy who can't even play for you right now, can't even train? You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't be my move. It's like, I feel like that's not fiscally responsible thing. You know what I'm saying? I know that you want to have guys on rotation. I think they're looking to have guys on rotation with like, who's on the right side, Noni Madueke. And they probably got somebody else over there that they've been playing. But I don't know if that's the thing, man. I don't know. Luke says, to you, for how much would you be ready to sell Olise for? Me, man, with the market and the way young guys is going, probably like 70. I need like 70. Run me my coin. I need like 70 or 80. I can't even lie to you, bro. Real Elio says, yeah, you're right. We're not used to it, but we have to be a buying club before we can turn into a selling one. And I agree with that. I mean, I would like us to try and keep this group of guys together a little bit longer, because I mean, it's one of those things that with where these guys are in their career, the more solid, proven seasons they get, the more that value goes up. But at the same time, we want to see success for the club, not just success in selling and gaining value through the transfer market, but we want to see success in, top tens and cup success and, Lord willing, some type of European appearances. You know what I'm saying? That's what we want to see. So I do agree with you in the idea that, we want to find ourselves having some success as a club, and then maybe shifting out some of the talent, which I think if we could keep the core together for this year, moving forward, we could be talking about that at the end of this year. So Colin says 80-90 easily. Easily. I mean, I can't lie, man. I can't lie. Evening Monty, what's going on, man? So there isn't a release clause, like you said. It's been removed and it's been confirmed. Yeah, Darren Ambrose talked about that on Talk Sport. I think I tweeted that one out earlier today, actually. So I mean, that's good. I mean, Andy says we have good potential in Ebbs and Rock Hockey. While I don't think he will go, but he was a diamond in the rough, and we could unearth another. I mean, that's in essence what we're looking to do. That's the model. You see with a lot of other clubs and in other places, other countries and things. You are doing your diligence on the scouting side to bring guys in at lower costs, and then have them exhibit their talent at a high level in the Premier League, and then move on to bigger clubs eventually. Call it like a stepping stone model, whatever you want to say, but there's success to be had in that too, because there's a lot of clubs that show that they can have domestic success year in, year out. Ones that come to mind for me are like RB Leipzig, Borussia Dortmund, Lyon, who's also one of our brother sister clubs through the Texter ownership and Eagle Holdings. So it's definitely a real thing, and it's being done by other clubs. So Tim says, I mean, Lucas is right. Every player must have a price, but we have to build the muscle memory of making big clubs pay our price. Facts. 70 million for Decore. Facts. Exactly. Because then once you get clubs paying your price, then it enables you to then be able to make those moves on the back end with the replacements. Because if you're saying, hey, we putting this price on him, because then we're looking at a replacement that's going to cost this much. So in this situation, you're saying 70 for Decore. Okay, 70 for Decore, but then we're going to bring in as a replacement for circa 2025. We've got this profit margin that we can then use for player ABC also to bring in, that'll also have sell on potential in the next 2 to 3 years. So selling at your price is like the optimal thing with this too, for sure. And then not to mention what we're looking to do with the academy too. We're bringing through top talent through your academy, and eventually moving those players on too. So let's see what else we got here. Yeah, 70, 80. Yep. He's worth 70 plus in today's market, yeah. And I mean, I agree with what Darren Ambrose said. Eventually, he'll be $100 million player. I don't think it'll be with us, but I'll take the stepping stone of 70, 80 million on the way. Some bloody ridiculous amount of poor sports is suffering. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Rebecca says Ambrose was saying 100 plus in Talk Sport earlier. He was saying that he could become 100 million. He's on his way to becoming $100 million guy. I think because when he said it on the show, everybody was like, "Whoa, hold on, bro! Like it's kind of crazy." Like he was like, "No. I think he's on his way to that. He's not there right now, but he's on his way to it." So I agree with that. He definitely could be that. I think the biggest knock on Olise is going to be his physical presence and his ability to stay on the pitch. He gets hurt. He gets hurt a lot. I mean, this is what, year 3 with us. I want to say year 3 in his Palace time, and he hasn't had a preseason with us yet. I mean, think about that. Just think about that. Michael Olise has not been healthy in a preseason yet. The back injury was what, last year? I think last year was the back injury, and this year is now the hamstring. So you got to take that into account too. One of the best abilities is availability, as some people say. So, Palace Man 17 says if we sold Olise, there could be a bidding war between City, Chelsea, and Arsenal, so the price could even go above what we asked for. And that's definitely a thing. That's definitely a thing because they got the money to fight it out. So then it becomes almost like an auction of some sort. So Luke says, given that it's Chelsea who spent so much on players nowhere near Olise's level last summer, 85 to 90 is the minimum. I agree. I mean, when you looking at some of the guys that they're talking about that they paid, they gave like 90 for Mudryk, something crazy for Mudryk, and Mudryk was just coming from playing with Shakhtar. I think he was Shakhtar. He's playing pretty well, but it's in the Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? Like that's, I mean, not the Ukraine. What is Shakhtar playing? Yeah, Shakhtar is that Ukraine. Yeah, so I mean, if you're gonna pay that for him, I need to see it for Olise too. By the way, the next deadline for SPAC is potentially complete a deal for Texas Eagle football is Wednesday. Okay. So now, Tim, is this the deadline for that, like the payment structure stuff that they were talking about with like Lyon and stuff, or let's see, PSG will be interested in Olise when Mbappe leaves. Yeah, if Mbappe leaves, Mbappe sounds like he's ready to sit down. So let's see. So grade 3 injury, he might not be the same player when he turns. Who knows? I mean, that's a tough rehab too. So yep, no release clause. Yep, correct. What's up, Nick? Good to see you, man. Love to see you back on the show sometime too, buddy, for real. Stephen Dyer says we can't stand in the way of player progress. If we try to hold on to a player who wants to move, then we risk losing out on other players that want to sign on a low buyout. That's a good point. But I mean, I guess encountering that is like, do we truly know that Michael Olise wants to leave? And I mean, in the event that he does want to leave, that's when the discussion becomes a little bit different, and then the true negotiating between the team starts. Because the one thing that we haven't heard through all this is Michael Olise has agreed to personal terms with blah 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 club. Because when you hear that, that definitely means that the player's interested in leaving, and we haven't heard that. We haven't heard that from any of our players. Actually, we haven't heard that from Gahey. We haven't heard that about Anderson. We haven't heard about Demarai. We haven't heard about any of them communicating with clubs, negotiating, and then coming to personal terms. And then it's like, oh, well, now it's just up to the clubs to make the deal. That's never been the case so far, which is, for me, pretty good to hear. So, oh, he was on last night, right on, bro. I didn't get to see the show. My bad, man. I haven't gone back and watched it. But hey, good to have you. Good to have you on there, my man. I heard that she was repping for us today. Actually, was it today? That you was on representing back then. That's good stuff, man. Media using facts that his brothers Chelsea make more of a story. Yeah, connections always make the story seem more relevant, for sure. For sure. If Iconic wants to acquire Eagle Football, Wednesday is when they would need to see the filing for the deal. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Bet. Let's see. So, oh yeah, and Nick always speaks sense. We know that. But so we'll move on to the second thing that we have today, which technically isn't anything new, I would say, but it's definitely something that is evolving, so to speak. But it's been reported that Demarai Gray has rejected offers to Saudi Arabia for the opportunity to join Crystal Palace. It seems like Everton have set a price of 14 million euros for the winger whose family is settled and wishes to remain in the UK. So talks between both sides are expected to take place this week. When I read that, I hear the fact that number one, he doesn't want to go to Saudi Arabia because he's looking to stay in England. Number two, yeah, nothing's happened. No talking has really taken place yet between the clubs itself. Number three, I'm not paying 14 for Demarai Gray. I'm just not paying it. We're talking about Demarai Gray, who a few years back was on the way out the door from Leicester. And I'll be honest, I wanted him at Palace then. He didn't come. Went to Leverkusen for next to nothing. It was something like 2 mil, something really low. By all means, or lack of a better phrasing, bombed or flopped at Leverkusen. And then Everton bought him for like 1.8, something stupid low. And he's been what I would say is completely average at Everton since then. I think he had 5 goals and assist ratio. His goals and assists was like 5. And it's like, I can get 5 goals assist ratio from the guys we already got. So I'm not spending that kind of money to get that type of contribution. I think right now with what they bought him for, I'm 6 to 8 max on him. I think there was a report out, and I think I just saw somebody mention it. There was a report out, was like 10.5. I want to say was the number they had on him. Colin says here, yeah, it's in talks at 10.5. I think 10.5 is probably the high end for me. I don't know if I want to go that high. Like I said, I mean, I don't know. I feel like you can get that much. You can get more from somebody for that much. When you got, and then here's this thing. This is my thing. Apparently, they talk about Hudson-Odoi being 8 million, and he's 22 years old. He's not 27. He's 22. Now the thing is, they're reporting that Chelsea is hesitant to sell to a Premier League club, and I think that's because they don't want it to backfire in their face again with somebody like Hudson-Odoi. But we'll see how that plays out. But 10 million is a bit more reasonable, but still feels high. Yeah, it does. It does. Inflated on his performance in the Gold Cup. Probably. I mean, he did. I mean, I give him credit because I was watching Gold Cup. He played well. But I'm still 6 to 8. I think 6 to 8 is what, I mean, y'all could say 10 and a half, and I'm like, hey, I'll throw you this 8. I'll throw you 6 with 3 in incentives, maybe. We could do that. Like, but other than that, nah. 3 more assists than Zaha last season. Okay. Cool. Wolf dealt with a lot of injuries too. So I don't know. I don't know if that helps his cause. I'm still not paying 14. Rather start rock socking and Gray. There's an argument to be had there. I think. Let's see here. Nah, not for me. Che's not for me. I mean, he's too much of what we already have, I think. in strikers that don't finish. I think we will be upset with him the same way that we've been with Edward and JP to this point, except he's smaller. Like I don't know, not for me. Let's see what else we got here. Lou says would rather we were able to send Rockstocky to the championship club on loan. He's not ready just yet, but we won't have a choice though if we don't make signings. That's the thing. Needs much, man. I guess it just depends on what we got. Depends on what we got to do. Smith Rowe would be the dream left wing transfer. Would be a loan with no buy option if it was to happen. Whose dream is the question. I mean, we all go to sleep at night, but we have different dreams. Emil Smith Rowe on the left wing is not a dream for me at all, whatsoever. My man ain't a winger. Would it be nice to have him on loan? Yes. Do I want him to be my starting left winger? No. That's right, Luke. Cho and Gray. Cho, not Gray, like I thought. Yeah. Gray's 27. Yeah. Let's not forget that. So we're talking about Demarai Gray, who's 27, and they talking about 10.5 to 14. Or a guy like Hudson Odoi, who they're talking about $8 million for a guy who's 22. I know which way I'm going with that one. Just saying. So we'll see how that goes. But it's one of those things, man. I think regardless of who we're getting linked with, now that the whole Zaha saga is over, he's not coming back, and it's not a thing anymore. I just want us to move forward with making the necessary moves. I mean, we got to get some attacking guys in, and I still think that we need to be looking at fullbacks. That's just me personally. I feel like we've been tied to Franco for so long. I feel like something should have happened there by now, and it hasn't. It's been weird because it's like, oh, it's on the verge, this and another, and it hasn't played out yet. I feel like we just got to move. I think we got to do more. I think we need to bring in some solid reinforcements, and that's loans, that's budget buys, whatever. I think it's got to happen. It's got to take place. We got to get it done. For being honest, so. For how many years were teams keen on Zaha? Olise is next. We have the bright talent, and some ones will always be sniffing. Yeah, exactly. Because I think it became monotonous for us with Zaha because at the time for so long, and Andy, great comment. I think it was the way it was with Zaha, and it became so tedious and monotonous because of the fact that at the time he was the only one. He was really the only guy that we had that had any type of market value that other teams would actually come and be interested in negotiating for. But that's not the case anymore, and that just shows the growth that we have at the club. Now that you got multiple guys who would command hefty transfer fees, and there will be multiple clubs that are interested in them. So it's just one of those things that we're gonna have to get used to it. So. Yeah, and you know what, Rebecca, I don't disagree with you. He was not good. He was not good last season, but he's 22. That doesn't mean he has room for him. He doesn't have room for improvement. But I got a special guest for y'all real quick. My man that tapped in with me. Patrick, what's up, big dog?
What's up, man? How you doing? You all right?
Good, man. Doing good. How are you?
I didn't know you guys are doing the show now because the time comes up as 4:30. I thought that was like 5:30. So I was like,
that time change, man.
Then I see you by yourself. I'm gonna jump on if you're by yourself. So.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it, dude. I appreciate it. You getting ready to go to Chicago, right?
I'm heading to Chi-Town.
My man.
Wednesday the day of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do the real quick itinerary. I'm gonna do the cruise, the cruise boat cruise. And then I'm gonna they're meeting up at one of those some bar somewhere across from the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do that, and then hang out, and hopefully I'll be doing some content because I can put a new camera.
Yeah, I saw that.
You got
the cam and stuff, man.
So do a little maybe pre-match content. Maybe get some fans on, a little fan cam kind of stuff. So it should be fun. I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to
get some behind the scenes footage.
it. Exactly.
That's what's
Get
up,
get
man.
some get some comments about Zaha leaving. To get some
Oh
that
my
stuff.
God, I'm sure people gonna want to talk about that. I mean,
Trust me.
and
Again,
I
I'm in
mean, we've done our fair share of talking about it already, but
right.
you know, I'm good. I mean, I'm happy for Wilf. I mean, I think Wolf made the best decision he felt for himself. I think people are always going to have those opinions about the team that he goes to or the
Yep.
league that he chooses and things like that. But he's fulfilling a dream of playing Champions League football, even if it is only a certain stage. You know what I'm
Qualifying
saying?
exactly. Yeah.
I
And
mean, but
I
it's
just actually just saw a comment that he made about because apparently it's official now, but
yeah,
apparently Drogba was a big influence. Drogba told him to
and
go to Galatasaray, and that
and
makes sense. And that's been
and
his idol for a
like
long time. So
it's like that's the one of the greatest players from the country that he represents. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
So
It's
yeah.
like if Michael Jordan came to me and said, "Hey man, you should probably look at the Chicago Bulls." Like, all right, Mike, I'm gonna look at the Chicago Bulls. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, that's one of
I,
the best players.
I don't begrudge him. I think a lot of our fan base is toxic at the worst of times. And I remember last year, or even last year, or even season before, when he missed the penalty kick and got red
Hmm.
carded, people
Oh
get on
my
his case
God,
and
they
killing
were
him.
on him.
So I mean, listen, he did my best for him. And again, I only really honestly I feel for D because of that rivalry.
That's the
I
one
truly
person I
feel
think
to D. I
has
do.
like D has the legit gripe. Like
Yeah,
out of
he
all
really does.
the
I
gripes other
really,
people
really
have,
does.
he
Yeah,
had his view of this is
it's
completely different.
personal, very
Yeah, it's
personal.
completely
Yeah,
different. As
very personal.
as a Fenerbahce fan
Right.
and the rivalry between those two clubs. Not to mention
It's
the fact that apparently like Zaha was connected with them too,
yep.
possibly with going there.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. Yeah,
that's loaded. That's loaded
yeah.
for sure.
So
Yeah, yeah. Tim says, "Good to see you, Patrick. Can't wait to see the footage, man. Have you ever been to Chicago before?
no, which is why I'm going. So never been to Chicago before. I'm not. I should travel more. I'm not a big traveler. I travel again. I
You
hate to
travel
bore
to
people.
play golf. That's what you do.
I do exactly. A lot of my trips now. I'm going to the Ozark in near UT in Missouri in
Oh, word.
August.
That's only like
Yeah,
2 hours from me,
exactly.
bro.
I'm playing
Okay.
golf. I'm playing golf out there in August, and I've been down south to play. But I don't really. I'm not. But now that I'm retired, I'm gonna do a lot more traveling, and I have the
Yeah,
ability,
man.
the time to do it. So yeah, never Chicago. I've been to Detroit, and with all due respect, I'm not a big Detroit fan. I mean, I would have gone to both matches, but I've been to Detroit, and honestly, what I heard is different. I heard Chicago's just a
Hey
different kind of
man.
town than
Hey
Detroit
man.
is.
That's different. Detroit. Hey, Detroit rough.
Exactly. I'm just
Hey,
keeping it real. I've been there before, and it is
yeah.
what it is. But like, if I had the team, I'd rather see Sevilla play. If I'm honest with you, but
That was the
that was the
allure for
only
me.
thing.
That was the allure
Right?
for me was
Sevilla would
seeing.
have been really
But
nice.
then the thing about Chicago though that makes that matchup really cool is that they're playing in a soccer specific stadium in
They are. They're
Chicago.
playing the SeatGeek Stadium. Yeah,
They're
twenty
playing in a
thousand.
baseball stadium
Yep. For the
in
Detroit
Detroit,
game.
which is
Right.
not going to make the experience as good because you're not going to be able to
Right.
be as close, I don't think. But
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking
yeah,
forward to it. I'm looking forward to it, Tim. Very much so. Yeah.
yeah, and that's a really dope stadium too. I've been there, Chicago Fire
Oh, you
Stadium.
have? Okay.
Yeah, it's
Cool. All
nice.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice,
Nice.
man. Because it's a newer stadium because they were playing. They weren't playing in the soccer specific stadium for a while, and they got a brand new one.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny is that I have a friend that actually a friend Brian Garcia. He's actually part of the New York Eagles. He runs it. He goes to a lot of baseball games. He's done like 28 baseball stadiums. He's got like four more to go. So
Mm,
one thing I want to do was do the same thing for soccer. So
mm,
I've actually been to Philadelphia, D.C.,
mm-hmm.
obviously New York, New Jersey, obviously NYC. I've been to Columbus Stadium too. So this is like
Mm.
my seventh stadium, and that's not. I'm not a big MLS fan. That's
Shoot, I
not
might have
bad
to
for
do
some of
that
the.
too. Shoot,
So
because I've
yeah,
been to St. Louis, I've been to Kansas City, been to Chicago's,
there you
I've
go.
been to Portland, been to
Okay,
Seattle, and I've been to StubHub, which is
L.A.
Los Angeles Galaxy. Yeah.
Right, the Galaxy. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I might have to make my way around until I
And
gotta go down to like Texas somewhere it's super freaking hot.
as Nick points out, yes, I am a season ticket holder, so I'll be going to Palace this year. Not
That's
looking forward to it
big.
now, Nick. By the way, I was looking forward to when I bought the ticket. Now I want a refund. Can I get a refund?
So
I'd be nice to go home. It'd be nice to
Palace
go
Man
home. So
17 wants to know what's that kit you got on? Look like it's
oh, you see, I
interesting
like
one.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
So let me move the microphone out the way and stand up a little bit.
Ooh, France.
Henri.
Henri.
Henri. See,
Ooh.
even got his name on the back. Look. Name on the back.
Now that kit's probably going for a decent amount of money right about now
Yeah.
too.
So
You
yeah.
gotta watch. You
Yeah.
gotta watch who wear that around.
Won't be in Chicago, guarantee you that. Or Detroit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Can we talk about our club and incomings and outgoings?
What incomings?
Well, with Mukhtar, we talked about Demarai Gray. We talked about Hudson Odoi. We talked about the possible outgoing of Michael Olise. A lot hasn't been going on today. You know, we do it more on a daily basis, so a lot hasn't really transpired as much today. But Patrick, I know this the idea of the transfer market isn't paramount for you.
No.
But let me just ask you this: as far as the holes that we have in our club, not asking for specific players, but what do you feel needs to happen between now and the start of the season for us to even have a chance to be out there and competing the way that we as fans would hope we would?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to see any of our players get sold. No Anderson selling. No.
Hmm.
No Gehi.
Hmm.
No Olise. No Eze.
So
No
basically,
Decore.
holding on to what we have is
Hold on,
probably one of the most
and then
paramount parts.
right, and then sign at least two attacking players. Now, obviously, now we need a left.
Hmm.
What do we call it? Is it we call a left winger? I don't know what Wilf was technically called. I mean, a left attacking player.
Hmm.
So that would
Hmm.
be Hudson Odoi, um, Demarai Gray, and a striker. So Franca if he's available. But that's a minimum two attacking players because we're not gonna sign a right back. I talk about it all the time. I don't care. I'm gonna talk about that all season because when a right back becomes a position becomes the issue, I'm gonna bring it up that I kept saying you need a right back. But anyway, definitely a striker and attacking player. And again, if we lose any of the other players, I think we're in big trouble. The only position I think we could just about afford to lose will be to lose either Gahey or Anderson because of Richards. I'm
Yeah, I
confident
mean,
Richards could
yeah,
step
because
in.
we talk about positions where we're a little bit more
Right.
solidified.
But
Yeah,
Decore, absolutely not. Eze, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You don't put around on Eze, we're done. And then Olise, I don't believe he wanted to leave. I'm sure he wants to leave. Why would you not want to go to Chelsea or Man City? That's madness. Of course he wants to leave, but we cannot let him leave. We just can't. Not right now, anyway.
yeah, and I mean, I think it's also a matter of how much he plays if he makes that move. You know what I mean for him, and I don't know. I mean, part of
City's
that's
the
like,
place though. See, City, because remember they got rid of
yeah, because
Mahrez.
they're gonna
City
lose
is
Riyad
wide
Mahrez. Yep.
open. They're
Yeah,
wide open. That's the one I'm worried about. I'm
yeah,
not worried about Chelsea because yeah, of course you want to go to Chelsea and Pochettino likes them. I get all that, but but they have a lot of players that play in that position. Man City, I totally forgot when I heard the link about. I'm like, he's not going to Man City. They have, and I'm like, oh my god, they got rid of Mahrez. I mean, they have Foden,
you
but
think about it.
that's
Yeah,
available. And Jesus Christ, under Pep, that kid's going to be world class. I mean, he'll get there possibly anyway, but under Pep, the sky's the limit for that kid, and that would scare me. That link
yeah,
would scare me.
yeah. So that's definitely a tough one for sure. So I mean, I agree with you. I feel like we need at least two more attacking players for sure at the very minimum at this point. But the one thing I would like to see us do that I feel like for the past 2 years we haven't maybe probably the past 2 years that we haven't really used to the optimal levels of loans.
Loans, yeah, 100%.
Um,
Loans. But the only thing is that I noticed that with us, which we shouldn't, our loans always come in really late if we use them at all. We always
yeah,
wait until
and they
the
always come
market.
in really late and they never come with options or
Exactly.
obligations.
Right.
And I
Exactly.
think that's
So
because they come in so late.
exactly. And they're
And
normally
part of
Chelsea loans.
Yeah, because
So
a part
let's
of
be
it,
honest.
a part of
Right.
it is we're just waiting to find somebody to plug in to play for a year, stopgap play for a year.
Right.
And other clubs are like, hey, we don't have the finances right now, but we still want the players. So
Exactly.
we're just going to loan them and have hopefully have some type of obligation on the back end that we could
Right.
pay for later. We're just
Yeah.
like, look, we just need somebody to come in here, and we wait till last minute. It's like, hey, we'll give you him, but you can't keep him.
I'd be very impressed with an early loan with an option to buy, but I don't see that happening. I'd be very impressed with a solid young player, an up and coming player out of I don't care Arsenal, City's academy, Chelsea that we have an option to buy on. I mean it's a
Absolutely.
crazy one. That kid that was at Burnley last year, the left attacker, the kid from
Ian
Belgium,
Matson.
Matson, like him.
Hmm.
He's proven that he can play high level. He
And
played in
Chelsea's
champions
talking
last
about
year
they
at
want to
Burnley.
keep him now.
Right. Well, I'm saying that someone like him would be like, imagine
Like
getting
that
someone like him. You know what
scenario.
I mean?
Yeah,
That
that
stuff, that
scenario.
kind of thing. So
Yeah, and like
yeah,
I don't know. I heard somebody talking about like the kid Cole Palmer. Would be somebody to look at. I've heard Lewis Hall coming up in the loan talk with options. It's like,
Lewis Hall would be a great shout. Original midfielder, plays left sided.
yep,
He's not going to play. He's not going to play for Chelsea. He's not going to get in that side. I mean, much
no,
as he as good as he is, he's not getting that side with Cucurella and plays like that ahead of him and Chilwell. So that'd be a perfect one, D. But again, that takes vision, that takes finesse in the market. I mean,
hmm
Dougie's great, but he can't pull that one off. But again, maybe he'll maybe. I mean, listen, I don't want to put down Dougie on this show because D gets mad at me, and I've never had a problem with Dougie. It's just that it's not Dougie's fault. Dougie
yeah. I think
tried,
a
but
lot of times, yeah, I
Dougie
think a lot of times it's not up. I think Dougie, it's not up to Dougie at the end.
exactly
So
ultimately
his
it's
job
not up to
his
him.
job is to
Find
unearth
the player.
the talent
Yep,
and find the players.
exactly.
But
Yep,
at the end of the day, he ain't throwing out the dollars. So
right.
so it's just one of those things. But yeah, I
So I
mean,
see this is back again, huh? I see this nonsense is back again with the Gallagher stuff. We're gonna do that until cause he's
oh
definitely.
my
I mean,
god,
I was so upset when I saw that today. He's actually leaving. I'm like, he's not coming to Palace. I don't know why people think what. I mean, and again, if he comes to Palace, guys, you know what that
why is
means?
it a good
The
idea that
FA's
he
leaving.
comes to Palace? Why is it a good
Yeah,
idea? Like, what does
I
it
don't.
do for us to have him come to Palace right now? For the needs that we have and for what we need to do to round out our squad. What would Conor Gallagher do for us right now? I don't think it's it, he's not going to do anything productive. I don't think. It just I don't know. But not to mention that the cost.
Yeah,
They still want 30, 40 million for this dude. And it's like,
yeah.
if he's 30 or 40 million, why isn't he playing for y'all? Like, I don't
And it
know.
might be me, T, but I don't think he's gotten any better since he went back to Chelsea. He's gotten no
Oh
better. His
no.
value was
Oh
gone down. He's not playing
no.
any better. I know he scored.
Because
He scored over the weekend here in that for Chelsea,
yeah,
but
yeah,
honestly,
on off a little invite. I saw that then. But I mean it's like in a part of it, I think the reason why he hasn't gotten better or hasn't improved is because he has to play in a
a
way
certain way, yeah,
that
certain
he
fashion.
can't, he's not technical enough to do. And, he's not just running around pressing and
Right.
causing havoc. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying?
But I see
So,
people are talking about it again. I just hope he goes to whatever Tottenham and I can just put that to bed. Signs a 5-year contract at Tottenham and then we can move on from Gallagher.
bro, we'll be talking about going after him next summer. My
Yeah,
God.
when he's not playing for Tottenham,
When
right?
he's not
Exactly.
playing for
And
Tottenham.
Postecoglou say he's not good enough. Oh yeah, well you should go to Palace. So yeah.
Right.
I don't want to see that link anymore. But
Not at all.
um, yeah, it's not even a need anymore. Like I said, even if we lose Decore, he's not a Decore replacement. He's not. He doesn't do what Decore does.
No. And Sib said it right here. You can't replace the core with Gallagher. No. You can't.
Again, it's Eze he's replacing. That's what we kept out of the lineup when he was here was Eze, and
Yep.
I don't want to lose Eze for Gallagher. So
And like Palisman says here, we have good depth in our midfield for the first
midfield's
time
fine.
in a good amount of time.
Midfield's
We
decent.
yeah, we got a decent amount. Especially, I mean, I think we have a very solid first three with Lerma, Decore, Eze, and then we've got some solid guys that you can plug in there that can sub
Right,
into the
Hamada, Hughes,
Mathis.
and Gyro for me are fine. I'd have no
Yeah,
problem with them. Yeah,
and
not
then
playing all the time, and even Schlupp, I have no
yeah,
problem. But
you know,
again,
I
if they
say
don't,
you got
those
Schlupp in
three get
there.
injured though, we have a problem. But I'm with you, especially Hamada can get in there big time. So yeah, that's our strongest position I think right now. That and center half because and
Yeah.
goalkeeper. And even if Guaita leaves, Johnson I have no problem with. But so and again, I saw Guaita post a picture just now on Instagram with his son. So people thought he's not leaving. I don't know why people think he's leaving. I think he might be injured because if he was
Yeah,
leaving.
I think he's dealing with something. I think
Yeah,
he's
I know
dealing with
people
something more
we
than
get so
anything else.
panicky when players don't. When I mean, the club should be more forthcoming with this information, which they're not. But I don't have a feeling that Guaita's leaving. And again, the thing is, we don't have to sell Guaita. We might do it as a favor to him, but we don't have to sell him.
Yeah,
What's the
and
rush to sell him? So
Adam said about Bournemouth fan said that Lerman plays better as a
he
holding
can't.
midfielder. I
I
mean,
see.
I think he can do it, but I think he can also be. It seems like he's a pretty decent eight. He can play. Like he
Yeah,
plays well with the ball at his feet. He dribbles well. I mean, he's shown he can score goals. He had
he's
5 goals
versatile.
last
He's
year.
definitely versatile. Yeah,
Yeah, so I don't. I
he's
think
versatile.
I think we would be doing the most disservice by pigeonholing him into one position. Now, I think the luxury that we have with him is his positional versatility,
100%.
because come January when Decore has to go to African
Right
Cup of
to
Nations,
Afcon. Yeah,
you got a guy who we can plug and play in that six role and then we can bring in Hamida, we can bring in Hughes, we can bring
Hughes,
in
right? Gyro,
Gyro or
right?
Schlupp. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then we still have a very solid, formidable midfield. We
Agree.
just had to make one simple shift. So, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes, man. But appreciate you all tuning in, man. I think we got up to about 130 people at one time here
Appreciate that.
at
Thank you
one
very much.
point, man.
Don't
Appreciate you all. But don't forget, for all of you that ain't here today, like, comment, subscribe. It means a great deal to us. The participation and everything that we've been seeing from you all is amazing. I'm connecting with so many of you all on Twitter each and every day. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate that. I appreciate the chance to just talk Palace with you all for sure. So we'll be back later on this week with more stuff as things come up. Shout out to Patrick for not leaving your boy out on the island alone.
I got you, bro. I
My
got
man
you.
came out on the paddle boat with the little gun. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate it, man. But hey,
Anytime.
we want to say thank you to you all, and we'll be seeing you soon. But as always, man, up to Palace.